F3 action tonight, F3A live from Mount Panorama. It is round number 10 of the World Series tonight, thanks to RaceKraft Simulations. And we're here for the first of two races tonight, the silver class heading up the broadcast, followed by the gold, the best of the best later on tonight. But we've got some incredibly close times throughout qualifying in this silver class. This is how qualifying has ended up. And on top of the table, it is Mickey Rubach with the top time there, 1:57.4, so sub 2 minute quick lap around Mount Panorama. Mickey looking very, very good tonight to maybe take out a win ahead of Sebastian Guest, who will start from P2 on the grid, just a 10th off, with Marcus Kaniska also doing a good job. P3, Matterford rounds out the 4, and then you've got Madden into the top 5 tonight. So very, very nice qualifying effort. The top 10 covered by 1.1 seconds, the top 20 covered by just about 1.6 seconds. It is very, very close out there. Let's take you down to the racetrack and have a look at a couple of the cars as we fly over this Mount Panorama circuit in Microsoft Flight Sim. Let's pick up, there's John Monday. The weather conditions tonight looking pretty good as well. There it is on the right hand side of your screen, 22 degrees ambient, 23 degrees track temp, partly cloudy here. And it is 8:02 and counting in the morning, so we'll warm up a little bit by the time we get to the gold round a little bit later on. 2 minutes till we go to the grid. Welcome aboard tonight. Hello, Sher, and hello to Jacob Neasley and Keith Logan in the house as well. Welcome tonight, folks. Remember, I will put some of those comments from Facebook up onto the broadcast screen. And of course, I will try and engage you guys as much as possible. If you're here to see someone in particular, make sure you jump in and say g'day and let me know who it is. So Mickey on the pole position. Very good lap, just trying to see. Not out on the road at the moment. Marcus Kaniska is. And then he just drops down through the dip. But these F3 cars, they're going to be quite treacherous over the top of the mountain. I was watching some of the onboards earlier on, and it is so fast. And can you hang on? And the problem too is if someone makes a little bit of a mistake, it could be a big incident and a huge pile up, especially at this part of the racetrack right here up through the cutting. So let's jump on board and have a little bit of a look with your pole sitter. This is Mickey and the game face on tonight, ready for action. And well, could it be a win? I think a maiden win in F3A silver as well. Definitely the best place to kick off, front row of the grid. This is a place to be. We've also got a couple of the RaceKraft guys tonight running some broadcast cameras for us as well. We'll click across there. I know Kieran will be racing in this earlier one. Christopher Mitchell is just warming up, with also Gianni there warming up for what is a little bit later on for the gold session, as we just see the onboard here. And what's going on there? We're seeing a little bit of sideways action. That's the old trick where you go down the escape route there and then try and get a good launch up the pit straight. Oh, I don't think they're allowed to do that. It's been pinged in the past. I think he's just had a bit of fun. All right, let's get on the RaceStars theme song. Let's go down to the grid for race number 1 of this evening's action. And hold on to your hats, it will be a good one. Mickey starts from pole position. Let's go and read out the grid for you now for round number 10 of the F3A FRG World Series tonight, live from Mount Panorama. Here's your grid. It's Mickey Rubach on pole position. Sebastian Guest will start from second with Marcus Kaniska, your top 3. Matterford out of 4th tonight with Madden, Cassidas, Kelly and Arthur, your top 8. Del Santo will start from 9th tonight with Reese Clayton, your top 10. Brett Elder from 11th with Kieran Ellis, rounding out your top 12. 13th on the grid tonight, Lockie Taylor with John Forward. Then it's Josh Hughes and Gavin Nins in 16th place. Crespo starts from 17th tonight with Schmallenberg, rounding out your top 18. Steen and Lachlan in the top 20. Then it's John Monday, Barry Neals down there in 22nd with Marcus and Kobe, rounding out your 12th row of the grid. Then we go across to the final few drivers. It's Gardner, Bush, Johnny Lee's in 27th with Lesueur 28th, and it's Morris, Capel, Roberts and Burt down there in 32nd. Schmallenberg out of 33rd with Hudson, Johansson and Willits, your top of 36th. 37th on the grid, no one. 36 drivers ready for action here at Mount Panorama. Good luck, the revs rise. We're about to see them get away here from the start. Rubach Can he get a good getaway? He does. Great start. Jumps the field. The run down towards turn 1. It is hectic. And straight away on the outside, I can see some pushing and shoving, and Sebastian Guest gets himself into the lead as they head up the mountain for the first time. Everyone got through except for Ben Arthur, I think, may have spun around right at the start. Three-way battle for the lead, though. Kaniska, wow, they're almost banging wheels as they head up towards turn 2. Guest leads, Rubok second, and then it's Kaniska third. Kaniska with a tight line out of turn 2, heading up towards the cutting for the first time. Madden's dropped the position. Madden's up 1. Guest in control at this stage. Looking back, it's already getting feisty between Rubok and Kaniska as they head up the mountain. This is going to be really fast across the top on this first lap, and they've got to wait. They've got to wait for the tyres to come online. Check it out through here across the Great Cam. Incredibly fast opening lap here. Sebastian Guest, 10,000 stars. Oh, sorry, 1,000 stars. I got excited there. Christopher Mitchell. And this was courtesy of Will G. Ryan, donating the stars from the F3 winners of the RaceKraft DFR CM2, sorry, being Christopher Mitchell, of course. Easter egg hunt last week. We're under caution by the sounds of things. Everything just died out. Now, do we have a safety car? Definitely doesn't sound like we're full throttle. He is short shifting away. And I reckon we're under full course caution here on the opening lap of this race. So we'll throw out the yellows and we'll see what's gone wrong there. Kieran Ellis is one driver that I think has run into a bit of trouble. Big thanks, Christopher Mitchell, and of course, Will Ryan. That's super generous of you. Absolute legend. Send it, Mickey, said Jacob Neasley. Mickey's held on to second place, but as we're under full course caution, let's go and have a little look why. It was Kieran Ellis, I think, that's come a croppers early on in this first lap of the race. Here it was, going up towards the cutting. Try and pick this up, the RaceKraft entry. Oh, just stuck it into the wall. Look at that, broke the rear suspension. And upside down. Oh, that's a big incident. And into the fence, so Ellis. That's the reason we've got the caution. That is massive. It's all the cars clear through. Let's hope he's all right. Not the best way to start the race, I'm sure. And, well, everyone I think's got back. Oh no, there's still action. There's another car parked there with him. I think it's Del Santo, also stuck in the same position. They'll be given permission to tow shortly. We might go have a look at the onboard here with Kieran Ellis and just see if we can pick up what it was like in race cam, driver cam. So this is the onboard, having a look. And he had a car to his inside, but he just went in wide, got on the marbles. There was the first bit of contact, and then the secondary contact upside down, and you're looking at the pavement. Not ideal as the rest of the cars go through. He's trying to climb out there, obviously, but not getting anywhere. So upside down, that's what the world looks like upside down when you're in an F3 car. For Ellis there, not the best way to start his race. And I know we've got, well, we're under caution. Let's go talk to him. Hello, boys. And not an awesome start there for you, Kieran. Upside down, upside down. What's going on there, buddy?
Beginner's luck. It just... Johnny gave me the all clear, and I just didn't take the opportunity to close the door and try to go wide in the corner, and it just no grip out there.
Now, did you get on the marbles out there? Was that what it was?
I'd say, yeah, a bit of marbles and just real cold tyres. Just wasn't expecting it, and haven't had the laps really under practice. I've been a bit slack.
Well, you got the boys there egging you on, and I'm sure very supportive. What were their reactions?
Johnny was going the old, you know, and, it's, you know.
I'm just making sure he takes the fast repair so he doesn't end up like me at Zandvoort.
That's right, yeah. And it's always a tough place to come to, Mount Panorama, especially in an F3 car. Christopher, how are you feeling about, later on tonight?
I'm liking my chances of at least trying. I put in more practice this week now that we've actually wrapped up a whole bunch of commentary commitments. I've actually had spare time to put in some practice, which is a good start. So yeah, I'm feeling pretty decent. We pre-qualified pretty good, and I'm just circulating in practice now, and it actually feels better now the fog has been lifted, because all the pre-quali laps were like typical Sydney fog. It was just like pea soup out there, but it's nice and clear now, so we're all good.
Rue Koister, he loves fog.
Loves it.
He loves it. And Gianni, how are you feeling about tonight, buddy?
Yeah, no, it should be good. Obviously, yeah, just now was just giving Kieran a hand on the spotter. But yeah, unfortunately, he just had a bit of a tango up by himself there. But you know, it's all about the F3 series, and yeah, you know, it's one of those things you just sort of got to learn with experience. But yeah, no, feeling good for gold tonight. Me and Chrissy qualified quite well for pre-qualifying this week. So yeah, no, we'll see what we can do. Yeah. Fingers crossed we can just keep it clean and stay out the front.
Excellent. Good luck, boys. We'll drop in later and we'll have a chat. We're always keen to see how the RaceKraft guys go. So good luck with the rest of the race there, Kieran. Get yourself back on your wheels, mate, and see how you can go.
Give it my best shot.
Excellent. Well done, boys. Cheers. Right, we're about to go back to green here. Green flag racing. Not too far away. We've got Mickey. Hello. There's Mickey P2 for the restart and getting set to go racing here. This is going to be, well, pressure on. P2 went backwards one position off the start. Sebastian Guest took that position away. Will we get a reversal here? Will Kanitska fight on and try and get through? Because Kanitska's been super fast and quite aggressive too to try and work his way forward. So here we go. Sebastian Guest will take us away and we'll get racing again here. F3A Silver. It's a 35-minute race. Big thanks tonight to our round sponsor, to Mini Muscle Cars. We'll talk about them a little bit later on. Fantastic having them on board away again. Sebastian Guest got away quite well. In fact, got a good jump there on Rubok, and also Kanitska, who's having a look down towards turn one. Thinks about it, thinks better of it. So Rubok holds position for now up Mountain Straight, trying to move forward, trying to get onto the back of Sebastian Guest, who's, well, he's absolutely flying. We've got a, by the looks of it, is that a lap car in there? So we do have Del Santo in the mix there. So we've got Guest leading, a lap car jumping. Oh, that was a big hit in the fence. Who was that? That was, oh, Kanitska's in the fence. And Rubok as well. Oh dear. That is not ideal. So we've lost Kanitska, Rubok, and who else? There's a couple of other drivers. That could be another safety car. We're going to have a look at that, because I saw the reaction on the webcam there for Rubok. Did not look happy at all. Race control will be looking into this, but let's have a quick look at the replay now. Kanitska involved in that one. Here it is. So it was up into turn two. Kanitska was on the inside. Now what's going to happen here? Does he leave enough space? Oh, he just went forward. So, I mean, Rubok had to turn in at some point. What will they deem there? So you can just see at some point Mickey was going to have to turn in. We'll try and get a look here. There's the gap between them, and then we'll just slow it down. We've got a safety car, by the way, so we're under caution again. You can just see Kanitska could have left it very late to turn in. Not sure he would have made the corner at that trajectory. And Mickey into the fence. Big crash, both cars. Plenty of damage as well, and sadly, it was such a great qualifying for Rubok, but that's now race in a lot of trouble. So back to caution, full course caution on lap 3, a second safety car of the night. Sebastian Guest still leads. This is eating up a lot of time concerning basically the strategies tonight as well. So looking at some of the gains and losses as well in this opening phase of the race. 5 spots for Clayton, and he's going to the pits. So drivers now taking this opportunity to take the pit stop. And I tell you what, this might be a good idea, because if things just settle down a bit for the rest of the race, maybe there won't be another safety car. The drivers that stayed out there, Guest, Madden, Matterford, Kelly, Taylor, Hughes, Baldwin, and Crespo, also Nins and Nick Schmellenberg, the top 10. Hopefully I'm saying that name right. It's a clanger, that one. Love it. Great name, Nick. Hopefully I'm not doing it justice tonight. I am doing it justice, I should say. John Monday, 11th, he stayed out as well. The drivers that are pitting: Cassidas, Clayton, Elder, Steen, Neil, Jordan, Arthur, Rubok, of course, and Kanitska, of course, both in the pits after that big coming together. So it'll be interesting strategy-wise now. We've got the VRS FRG safety car out there on the racetrack tonight, driven by Dave Roberts. By the way, there's 80 kph is the safety car speed for silver. But when we get to the gold round tonight, 160 kph will be the safety car speed. So quite a difference in the speed for the safety cars. Lockie Taylor, the quickest driver on the racetrack, with a 2:21.1. So they haven't really got a full fast lap in yet. We've got Lofty 8 in the house. Good luck, JWM, and Carl Rewald as well. Hey, Luke. Let's go, Rewald. And Brewers in the house. Let's go, Tank SRT. Awesome replays of the shirt. Carl says, I stepped away for 30 seconds and there's a car upside down. Spotting Luke is one of our JWM drivers. Spot in Luke. Who's that? Luke. You know what that one means. Lofty 8. A bit slow sometimes in picking up the comments. Exactly what they mean. But we've got obviously the gold round later on tonight as well. And it's a bit sad to see a couple of drivers taken out with some big accidents early in this race. But up the front of the order, we may get back to green at the end of this lap. We'll wait and see. So consistency, fast laps come with consistency, says Keith Logan. It's a hard track to get consistent around, and a lot of these drivers have probably done a couple of thousand laps around Mount Panorama, but when it comes down to race time, there's so many other factors. There's obviously nerves, different track conditions, marbles, all these things just pop out to throw you a challenge. Matty Wins, thanks for the 200 stars, and a big thanks for your support, man. Ongoing, week in, week out. It's been great having you all tuning in and supporting. Whilst I've been absolutely shocking with COVID, I know I've sounded like a dead rabbit most of these weeks, but I'm finally getting my voice back. Still got that annoying cough that pops out at the end of most sentences, but I'm quick on the mute button these days. Let's have a quick look at the mini muscle cars, because that is why we're doing tonight. They're the sponsor, of course. We'll talk about our major sponsor for the series a bit later on. We did see the RaceKraft intro video. How fantastic was that? But we've got some shots here of the mini muscle cars down at Malala recently. See if I can get them up on the screen in quite a big size for you. There we go. So these are the mini muscle cars, and no parking anytime. Well, that doesn't apply when you've got a mini muscle car. How cool do they look? And went for a couple of laps by the looks of things. Good to see Gaz getting them out and showing them to the world. So a scaled down replica of the real thing, and they are an incredible beast to watch. Rover V8, and definitely go and check out Mini Muscle Cars Facebook page. We're about to get racing again by the sounds of it. Guess once again gets the early jump away. He's caught them napping in a sense here, because Madden's dropped back about 3 or 4 car lengths straight away. We're back to green flag, and Matterford's done a good job, up 1 position to 3rd now. The Century Batteries Pulse Racing team driver holding on to 3rd ahead of Shane Kelly, but Sebastian Guess once again just the horse is bolted through turn 1. There's Madden, then Matterford, Kelly, Taylor, Hughes goes through Baldwin and Crespo quite close together, then Nins, Schellenberg, Monday and Lockwood. So quite spread out off the restart. I'm not sure if a lot of drivers were expecting another lap under caution, but they're all given obviously the word from race control, and the man who's got the jump perfectly is Sebastian Guest. He's really impressing me tonight. Just the speed he's been able to carry. He's got the number 1 on the car, and he's flying. The look back at Madden, it's already 1.8 seconds, so that's an incredible margin to pull out straight away on a restart lap across the top of the mountain. Let's have a look at some different vision points here. This one in particular picks up Guest going through down towards Skyline. There goes Madden, Matterford on his tail. We'll look at the S's cam. This shows good perspective of them dropping over the top of Rock Skyline into the S's. Trying to carry as much speed down through there as possible as well. Oh, we got a crash. It's Schmallenberg in the fence. Big incident. The JWM car gets clobbered by someone else as well. I think it was Nick Gardner also involved in that. And this could be another safety car. So top of the hill. They've got to check up here. It's in the S's, in fact. It's right at the S's. And we just caught it as it was unfolding. 3 or 4 drivers involved. We'll stand by and see if they can clear this wreckage. The JWM car, you can see on the replay there, hard hit for Nick. And now I've got it. He was he's subbing in for JWM. Fantastic, but unfortunate. Don't think that's going to go any further. You can just hear him saying there he's stuck on the fence. So let's have a quick look at how this all unfolded. This was the incident, so jump on board. Just lost the back end. I don't think anyone else was involved. Into the wall, and then you're going to see a couple of other cars come in. Oh, big connection, 2 or 3 cars involved. They just could not check up in time. One more look at it from Nick Gardner's perspective. This will show a different story, I think. Go visor cam with Gardner. So he was coming across the top towards Skyline. Watch this now. He's going to come across here and he's going to go, oh no, car, track, blocked. Oh, there's the hit. Double impact and stuck. Unfortunately not going anywhere. Nick Gardner, nowhere to go. And a big crash at the top of the mountain. And our 3rd safety car period, can you believe? So we'll head back to live, we'll pick it up. And well, Sebastian continues to lead us away under our 3rd safety car period for tonight's silver race. I'm surprised. I'm just waiting to see if more drivers are going to come into the pits here. Hey, by the way, we've got our first fastest lap, sub 2 minute. Sebastian Guest did get a lap in there, 1:59.6, but it's been mostly safety car periods this whole race, so they're going to need to hone it in a bit, I think, when we get to the gold round tonight. Oh, Lofty says, sorry, I meant you got Schmallenberg's name right. Fantastic. Like I said, it's a fantastic name, and usually when I see a name like that, I'm very worried that I'm going to murder it. And if I've done justice, that's fantastic. Guest leads, Madden 2nd, Matterford 3rd still. Kelly has had a great race tonight as well, up 3 positions. How about Lockie Taylor? Fighting up 8 spots into the top 5. Josh Hughes up 9th into 6th, and then Crespo has now got himself up into 7th, 10 positions. Great gains. See the gains on the left-hand side of the screen now. Bert down there in 12th place. He's made up a whopping 20 places to be in 12th, and John Lee, good job, 13 spots in the RaceKraft entry to be up there in 14th place while we're under caution. Let's take one quick sec to look at that RaceKraft rig, our major sponsor for this series. Here it is. So massive thanks to RaceKraft Simulations and their support for this F3A series. We're at round 10, so we're getting towards the pointy end of the championship now. We'll go across the championship standings a bit later on for gold. And the VRS competition tonight, live and well. Tonight's code word, by the way, Uluru. U-L-U-R-U. Uluru is tonight's code word. You can win yourself a $99 US package. And all you got to do is click the link in the description of the video. There's a link that takes you through to the page for that VRS competition. And then, of course, you can join it and enter it each week with a code word. And we will be picking out the winner with the spinny wheel, the fun spinny wheel we do at the end of the series. The latest person to enter is Jacob Mabry. Well done. And Cooper there as well. Keeping an eye on that, and I'll read out some people that have entered a little bit later on. All right, this time, can Madden try and stay with Sebastian Guest for the getaway? This is where Guest has just been phenomenal, being able to jump away. This time he's held it a lot longer, hasn't he? He was out of the chase last time, already accelerating to top speed. This time he's going to wait till the final corner by the looks of things. He banks the pack up behind him. He might get a bit of a closer first lap at this stage. So set to go back to green flag racing here to start lap 7 here at Mount Panorama, and we get away well. This time Madden does get a good restart. He gets alongside, but on the outside through turn 1, and he stays tucked in behind Guest now. The wobble and the wiggle up the main straight, up Mountain Straight now as they try and break the toe. Matterford has disconnected a little bit. He's got Sean Kelly for company. I think John Lee's off the track and may have some damage there. Let's go back to the front though, because it's side-by-side Guest and Madden once again fighting for the lead of this race. In behind It's still Matterford, Kelly, and now Lockie Taylor gets himself tucked right up behind and underneath the rear wing of Kelly. Can he move himself up into the top 4? He's very close. Over the bump they go up towards what is, I call it Fujitsu Mark Taylor, the underpass, but it's actually up towards Reed Park. And then we go across. It undulates through here. We've seen the metal grade. It's been and gone. McPhillamy over the top of the mountain as we start to think about Skyline. Rock Skyline under the Coates Higher sign. We drop away at a great rate of knots. You'd lose your belly through there. And then we head down through the famous S's, the Dipper, where the front end of the car. Oh, we got a huge crash. Oh, can you believe it? And another car on its lid. Oh, wow. I don't know if we've been able to do more than a full lap of racing yet tonight, but we've got another car upside down. And who's the other one? I think it might be Lockie Taylor, is it? And Taylor's stuck there as well. So we've got 2 or 3 cars once again involved in an incident just out of the Dipper. And oh wow, let's have a look at Ben Arthur on a quick replay. Was it him that went in first? Let's have a quick squiz. Oh, so he was trying to recover. Now, was he out of position here? Don't tell me he's out of position and the leaders are coming through and he gets clouded. Oh, it was too. So Ben Arthur, who was down at the bottom of the order, obviously hadn't caught the back of the train. Let's get another look at this one. So this is on board with Arthur. Now if we go to this camera here, watch this. He's trying to do a 16-point turn up the top of the mountain. There goes the leader. There goes P2. And then watch this. I think it was, oh wow, it was Lockie Taylor with a big impact there. And can you believe, I think we're going to get another caution. Let's have a look at Taylor's perspective on that one as well. This is the onboard for Lockie Taylor. So he was challenging down through the S's now. Surely on his relative he would have seen a car that was stationary. Up ahead, watch this. Oh, there it is. Massive impact. And, well, not much you can do in that situation. What it means is I think we're going to be under another caution. We are so hot. Wow, 22 minutes into the race. And it's been Dave Roberts. What are they saying? Carl Walt says, I hope they award safety car some Drivers' Championship points this round. Well, let's go and have a talk. We'll go and just head across to the RaceKraft boys and see what's going on over there. And see if they've got a little bit of time to chat to me whilst we're under caution. I just saw, what's going on there? You're just grabbing your head there, Kieran. You're not happy, mate?
There was a lot of choice words to say nicely. Take a bit of caution down the S's. And the car met my rear with a 40 km/h difference, just being careless. So yeah, again, I'd put myself in that position of I had to start from the back again, try to get my way through. I only had one guy behind me and he still managed to find me, so it is what it is. I'm back out on track now, so
it's tough luck, man.
I'm going to see how the car drives and hope for the best.
That's it. It's hard. It's I mean, what's this, our 4th safety car now? It's been a lot of laps behind the caution.
Yeah, just not a lot of caution from the other drivers out there all round. It's, you know, if we can make it past these first couple laps, I'm sure we can have a good race.
Well, there's only 12 minutes to go or 11 minutes to go, man. So good luck for the best. But I'll quickly chat to Chris because Chris, have you been just watching what's going on with the Silver? It's pretty chaotic.
I've been trying not to, but after hearing we've had this many cautions and there's only like 12 or 13 minutes left, I'm starting to like this this no-stop gamble strategy that we've been discussing. So I've been trying to put down some practice laps actually in the open session, and it's proven interesting so far, really mingling with a lot of other cars out here.
I don't want to put the mockers on it, but generally the gold class is a lot cleaner. But I may still pick, what, 2 safety cars tonight, do you reckon?
And then some, I think. I mean, the last time I attended a league race here at Bathurst, it was Gianni was racing. It was a GT3 series put on by Flat Out Karts here in West Australia. Yep. And I think we ran 75% of the race behind the safety car. So it's not a good omen. And that was GT3 cars, not, you know, canoes with wheels hanging off them.
That's it, man. Well, good luck. We'll go back. I think we're going green, so we've got just on 10 minutes to go from now. So it's going to be about 8 minutes, I think, of green flag racing. Let's hope. Good luck, Kieran. Get back out there, man.
I'm back out there. Thanks.
Awesome. All right. Thanks, boys. RaceKraft boys, as always, provide the entertainment. And we can just see Christopher Mitchell still with a big smile on his face. Johnny's back as well. We're about to get back underway. Thank goodness. How you guys doing out there? Hanging in? It's been a stop-start first race of the evening. Don't forget we do come straight back with the gold round after this. I love Keith Logan's consistency is the key. Consistently, fast laps come with consistency. We haven't seen a lot of that yet tonight. Going back to green flag racing though, and that's the main thing. Green, green, green. Let's go racing. It's just on 9 minutes to go in this race, lap 9. And we got a car just going into the wall at the final corner. It was Chris Bush. I think he's got away with that, but he did hit the wall on the, well, just before the line there. 10-second penalty there for Mickey Rubach for causing an incident on lap 3. So they've awarded that to Mickey. Obviously the contact coming across, but at the same time, it's got to be a little bit harsh maybe that Jared Steen, sorry, not Jared Steen, it may not have been that easy for Kaniska to make the corner as well. So it'll be an interesting one to look back on later in the broadcast and maybe see the trajectory of both cars. And at some point, I guess Mickey had to back out of it and just maybe tuck him behind. But it caused a big incident. Sadly, what could have been a first maiden win here in F3A Silver has gone begging. Plenty of time to do that again though, Mickey, as we see Sebastian Guest leading from Madden by a long way. It's already 2 seconds on the restart lap. Absolutely flying. So consistent is this race leader. Madden looking good for Pace Syndicate at the moment for second position. And you got Grant Matterford, who's driven consistently throughout this race as well. Still only one driver to go sub 2 minutes, and that is your race leader, but I suspect that's more to do with the fact we haven't had enough. We've got John Lee's got a drive-through penalty for ignoring race control on lap 4. So John Lee will be sent through the pit lane. Drive-through penalty for Barry Neal, causing an incident on lap 5. So race control giving us a heap of these messages coming through now. Here goes Reece Clayton overtaking Lucas Burt. They get wheel to wheel down Conrod Straight into the chase. I still love calling it Caltex Chase. I know it's not Caltex Chase anymore, but into the chase they go side by side, and Clayton moves up into the top 10. Good drive. We see now a 1:57.5. That's more like it. Sebastian Guest in clear air cuts a time sub 2 minutes by 2.5 seconds. Jason Madden also sub 2 minutes now, a 1:59.8. So the top driver's showing the true speed now in the car. And look at that, Guest. He's got a 3.4 second buffer. He has disappeared up the racetrack. Rubach's fighting back with 10-second penalty, hiding 10-second penalty. Unfortunately, hanging over his head. He's also got Steen right there. They're going to go wheel to wheel up Mountain Straight, these two. And 1.4 seconds the time lost. Steen to Rubach on that previous lap. More penalty times given out than race time, says Keith Logan. Rubach goes defensive into turn 2. Up into 15th place, so pretty good recovery drive, it's got to be said. Next up the road, it's Ben Johansson in the RaceKraft entry. So Ben just tucking through the cutting now, getting on the throttle. I'm not sure how much you've got to play with the throttle up over the bump there. I know in the V8 supercars you've got to lift. These F3s, they should be pretty planted. They should have a fair bit of mechanical grip to look after those little consistencies in the track. But Ben Johansson across the top, pretty good. We see a couple of other cars going through there. There's Johnny Lee. He's going to get himself a drive-through penalty. Sadly, the 33 RaceKraft Simulations car will have to go through the lane at the end of this lap. Sebastian Guest, 4.3 seconds. See you later, Alligator. He's already tasting the champagne. Now, will they need to have a pit stop? Because it's not a compulsory stop. And at the moment, the top 7 are yet to come into the pits. Will they have enough fuel to continue around? At this stage, it doesn't look like Guest will need to pit, but even if he did, he's not going to get worried too much about the drivers behind him, because the first driver that has stopped and can go to the end of the race is already 14 seconds back on that one restart lap. And we're talking about Stephen Cassidis, who stopped on lap 3. So if they do run out of fuel, this man's in a pretty good position to possibly snatch a win. Number 3, Privateer. In the background you can see Lachlan and Clayton fighting here over 9th place. Andrew Lachlan's made up 11th spot, into the top 9 for the RaceKraft entrant. And Reece Clayton started 10th, runs 10th. Bradley Hudson doing a really nice job tonight. Thanks for pointing that out, Stephen Tonkin. And he's up 22 spots now into the top 12. And he's picking up right now. He's all over the back of Lucas Burt. Let's jump on board with him for a little bit. So this is on board with Hudson. The JWMP Motorsports driver just clipped the fence there into the cutting, which would have cost him a little bit. Now up the top he goes. So 22 positions. Lucas Burt in front of him has also made up 21. So this little grouping of cars, Lachlan also 10 in front. They've all made up great gains throughout this race. All 3 though yet to pit, so it's going to come down once again to strategy. Are they going to need a stop? That's Hudson having a look down towards the S's. That got Burt a little bit out of shape as well. And now we're going to run down through this second lot of S's towards Forest Elbow. And let's see if he can get a good exit out of the elbow now. Hudson, he has a look to the inside of the elbow. Thinks better of it. Now he races out of there to go down Conrad Straight at flat out here. Let's see what sort of top speed they get out of the F3 cars tonight. 220 climbing. He's got a little bit of a slipstream here over Burt. Gavin Nins is in a battle up the road. And Sebastian Guest is in the pit lane. So there's your indication. 260 kph, by the way, as they turn into the chase. Flat out. And it looks like the leaders are going to have to stop here tonight. Now, does that put Casillas into a winning position? Remember, he stopped on lap 3 and took 4 seconds worth of fuel. That could be masterful. Let's see where he ends up though. Guest is still in the pit lane. There he is, stationary, taking fuel on board. And Casillas is through and heading up Mountain Straight. So hold the phone, himself and Reece Clayton. So Casillas and Reece Clayton running quite close to each other on the racetrack. Both took the advantage to stop on lap 3. And Guest has come out way back in 13th place. So Sebastian Guest comes out in 13th place in quite a busy grouping of cars too. It's the Burt, Hudson and Elder battle. Oh, we got a crash into the fence. I think it was Burt went in the hardest, big crash. And well, if they call another safety car, which I'm hoping they don't, but if they do, and this finishes under caution, no, they've given him permission to tow. So he continues on. I was going to say, that would almost mean that the lead drivers could sneak through and not have to stop for fuel. As it stands, we're going to get probably one more lap in this race. Definitely one more lap here for Jason Madden. Has he saved enough fuel to be able to go through and take a win? Matterford as well, they're all in the same boat. In fact, the top 6 are in the same boat. They have not stopped for fuel. Casillas in 7th has, Clayton has as well. Lachlan and Hudson have not stopped for fuel. They're in 9th and 10th. Then you've got Sebastian Guest at 11th place. Led the majority of this race, the fastest driver out on the racetrack. May be robbed of a victory here tonight. Let's watch Jason Madden and see if he comes into the pits or if he stays out. So he heads down towards the final corner. He's going to stay out, so it's on. This will be the final lap of the race. It is a time-certain race, 35 minutes. We are at 33 minutes, 45 seconds as he crosses the line. And I tell you what, Sebastian Guest's heart would have just dropped. He's just coming now out of the chase down towards the final corner. And he's 18 seconds off the lead of the race. And I wonder if he's just not read the rule book there and he didn't realise that you don't need to stop if you can get home. Then again, we haven't talked about the fact that maybe these guys are going to splutter to a stop. Maybe they're going to run out of fuel here on the final lap as well. We'll keep an ear out for the tone coming from these motors. And if all of a sudden we hear a splutter and a pop and a bang, they're out of fuel, there could be some heartbreak going either way. Looking at Clayton as well, 7th place. Here he is, starting to close up the gap on Monday and Nins. Now these drivers in front haven't stopped for fuel. He took 1.8 seconds out of the last lap there of Monday's time, as you can see. And you'd probably be hoping that everyone's going to run out of gas and he's going to sneak through here for a Bradbury affair. But at the moment, Matterford's just got to let it roll down the hill now. He's done the hard bit. He's climbed to the top of the mountain. It's all downhill from here. You can almost roll to the start-finish line. Matterford in tow, just on 1 second behind. A little bit of a lock-up into Forest Elbow. Keeps it out of the Falcon fence. And now he points it in the right direction, down towards the bottom of the mountain. John Lee's crashed. Jordan's crashed as well, unfortunately, on the final lap. And it's going to be Madden, Matterford and Kelly if it stays this way, but the gap's come down. Matterford's really closed the margin up as he belts the rev limiter, looks to the inside. I wonder if Madden's in a little bit of fuel trouble here and Matterford maybe has a little bit more. It's going to be interesting. Down towards the final corner. Will he have one late dive here? It's Jason Madden leading into the final corner. He goes very deep and the checker flag's going to drop here. It's going to be a race win for Jason Madden, 0.2 of a second over Matterford. Shane Kelly comes home P3. Great drive ahead of Crespo. Then it's Monday. The top 5 drivers did not stop for fuel. They've got through on a no-stop strategy. Reese Clayton gets 6th. He stopped once. Nin 7th. Then it's Lachlan crossing the line in 8th place. Guest and Hudson top 10 on debut. Nice drive. Sebastian Guest in P9. He'll be upset with that one. Didn't go his way after being the quickest driver out there. Mickey Rubach fights back to 11th. Decent effort considering in the fence at one point P last. So good drive, Mickey, good recovery. Kaniska, who was the other car that came together. Mickey finishes 12th. Jared Steen gets 13th. Gardner, Elder, Neil, Cassidis, Schmellenberg, and then it was Lesueur and Baldwin to round out your top 20. Put your hands together for Jason Madden tonight. Work the strategy, work the wheel, and has worked Mount Panorama out to a treat. He's taken a win in race number 1 of this evening. Don't forget, we've got another one coming up after this. It is the gold round. What do we have? 5 safety cars? Pretty mega. Let's see if we get a bit of a burnout at the top of the mountain. This should be interesting. Jason Madden slows up, waits for a bit of track position. And here he goes. A bit of celebratory burnouts, I think, about to take place here. That's what we love to see. Your race winner, Jason Madden. We'll talk to them shortly, the top 3. And then we'll head across to the new servo. No burnout. Couldn't get it working. But a great drive. The Pace Syndicate deadhead winner for tonight's silver round. Well done. So as we watch a replay of the start, this was Jason Madden, started from 5th on the grid, I think it was. Ended up with a win tonight, but kept his nose clean on that first lap of the race where we saw a couple of drivers get together. And of course, the first of our safety cars was to come out. But we just wait for Jason to join us. We've got Grant Matterford standing by, but this is the first lap of the race. You can see the run up the hill there was on for one and all. The battle up ahead as well with great drive by Guest getting to the lead and then really setting the opening pace. But from then on, it was a lot of safety cars, a lot of caution, but in the end, someone had to rise to the top, and it was Jason Madden. Congratulations, man. The no-stop strategy tonight worked a treat.
Yeah, I was surprised to see Sebastian pit. And from that moment, everything just fell apart. I had Jack Barber on the back of the big time.
Do you think he didn't have an understanding of the rules, or was he generally out of fuel? He maybe didn't know that you could do no stops tonight, do you think?
Yeah, possibly. I felt like would have had enough fuel to the end. I probably had 2 or 3 laps left, but I was saving during the safety cars, so possibly.
Yeah, because it was 4 or 5 caution periods, so pretty testing race as far as just keeping your nerve, but you did just that, man, and well done, up 4 spots for a win. Well done.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
Grant, well done for P2 as well. We'll come back and do some thank yous. So Grant Matterford for Pulse Racing Team. P2, man, congratulations.
Yeah, thanks, man. I'm glad we were able to finish off with a 10-minute race there. It was a pretty good battle to the end. So, yeah, enjoy the last 10 minutes, not the first 25.
I love the little dive towards the last corner too. You really closed the gap down on the last lap. Did you think you had a shot?
I thought I had a shot in the chase, but the slipstream, you get a gain, but then I think by the time we got to the kink in the chase, we were both on the limiter, so I couldn't do anything.
Yeah, I could hear it smashing that rev limiter.
Yeah, I had a shot. He was blocking. He went for a half block on the last corner. I thought there might have been a chance, but I think Jason had to make a mistake for me to get through. But well done to him for the win.
Awesome. And then finally P3, Shane, well done, man. Up 4 spots as well for a 3rd spot tonight.
Yeah, cheers, man. Just trying to keep it out of all of the incidents. I had a pretty near miss with that back marker who spun at the S's, which took out the people behind me, but luckily I got through. So it was just a clean race, a little bit of fuel saving, as Jason said, in the first few safety cars, and then we knew that we were going to be easily home in the last couple, so it was just a race to the end.
It's a place you need a little bit of luck, right? And you got a little bit tonight.
Yeah, exactly. I think there was probably about a centimetre between me and the rear wing of that other car, so I was lucky to squeak it through and keep on going clean by.
Excellent. Right, let's go through the top 3 before we head over to the gold server. We'll do some thank yous, personal sponsors and the like, starting with you, Jason Madden, winner.
Yeah, thanks. Just like to thank Deadhead and Worm Paints as sponsors, and FRG for putting on a great show.
Great drive, man. We'll see you next week. And Grant, P2, who would you like to thank?
Yeah, our supporters, Century Batteries Lismore, CM Security, and Australian Waterproofing Company. So, and yeah, thanks to Rue and the team and you guys at RaceStars.
Thanks, Grant. Well done, man, P2. And then finally, Shane, our 3rd place driver for this evening's silver race. Who would you like to thank?
Yeah, massive thanks to Red Rocket Racing, the Formula Racing Group guys. Who else? Forgotten everyone. The DFR boys as well for staying in the chat and making sure that we had enough fuel. My kids for staying asleep throughout the race, not waking up because they're young, so that was nice. And a big shout out to Canberra Off-Road Model Car Club as well. I do a lot of RC car racing, so if you guys are interested in that, jump on over and have a look at what that's all about.
Awesome, man. Feel free to post up a link in the Facebook chat and I'll flick it around to YouTube and such. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Legend. Cheers, mate.
All right, thanks, guys. That's your top 3. We'll head across to gold now. Thanks to your top 3. We had Jason, of course, Grant, and Shane. Cheers, guys. Right, let's head across to the next server. It takes me a little bit of time just to flick across, so be patient. There's a bit of chat going on in over there in the broadcast still. We've got still a couple of minutes before we start the practice or the run into the gold race tonight. 50 minutes is the gold race, so just give us a second. We'll click across and you'll just put the flyover on for a minute. You can watch the nice flyover while I do a bit of work in the background. Be back with you shortly. Last two of the evening, it is Christopher Mitchell out there on the racetrack for RaceKraft simulators as we go forward into the gold round, round number 10 of the F3A World Series, thanks to RaceKraft simulators. And of course tonight, Mini Muscle Cars being our weekly broadcast partner for tonight. The paint's just loading onto the cars. We'll head down and we'll have a look at the times. They're in the warm-up, so only a minute and a half to go till it's race time here. And I'm excited about this one. Here are the qualifying results up on the screen now. And pole position will go to Jaden Laddick ahead of Benjamin Roberts for Mini Muscle Cars with a time of 1:56.2 for Laddick. That is out of this world. Roberts not too far behind. Then Mara was very close. Dennis Cho went within half a second for fourth. Hydes, Mabry and Malloy down there in 7th place. 1 second off the pace. Dutton, Lutzu and Christopher Mitchell, your top 10, 1.1 seconds. Covering the top 10. We saw a heap of safety cars in the first race tonight. Will we see that again in race number 2? Let's hope not. Let's hope it's a good, clean run to the flag as we see one of our DSR competitors, Riso Gorman, out there on the racetrack. Welcome aboard tonight for F3A Gold. Let's hope we have a clean race. We'll take you down to the grid shortly and we'll kick it all off here live on RaceStars TV thanks to RaceKraft and Mini Muscle Cars. The F3A World Series round number 10. This is how they will line up tonight on the grid. Jaden Laddick starts from pole position. Roberts alongside out of P2. Then it's Jack Mara off the second row with Dennis Cho. You got Caleb Hydes out of P5 tonight, starting alongside Jacob Mabry. Then it's Malloy, Dutton, Lutzu and Mitchell, your top 10. Rob Crouch starts from 11th with Will Ryan, your top 12. 13th on the grid, it's Holko with Aiden Coote starting from 14th. Rob Bowden tonight starts out of 15th place with Newton, Shepherd, Doyle, Edwards, and your top 20 position goes to Greg Bradley. Then it's Dave Roberts out of 21st with Shane Russell alongside Nick Bradford. Starts with Scott Pocock out of 24th place. 25th, huge grid tonight, Barker and Swaddling, Mazoka and Barnes. Then you've got Dixon and Griffiths, Terra and O'Gorman back in 32nd place on the grid. It's Kalen Arthur 33rd with Brenton Hawkins. Wadby down in 35th. Andrew Johnson starts from 36th on the grid. 37th goes to Hardy with Capel, Harvey, Limbom down there in 40th place for Christian Limbom. That's Rewalt down in 41st with Zelda, Roberts and Morris at the back of the order. Dave Roberts in the safety car. Let's hope it's not needed for race number 2 tonight. Just waiting on Jaden Laddick, your pole sitter, to join us. Once he's here in the frame, we can get underway. But wowee, what a huge grid of cars have all turned out tonight. 43 competitors getting set to go racing here around Mount Panorama for the top of the best of the best. This is the Gold Series live on RaceStars TV. We're going to get the championship points up a little bit later too, but it's still between Laddick and Roberts at the front. Laddick's on the grid now, so we'll get rid of the music and let's get set to go racing. This run down to turn 1 will be important tonight. Can Laddick get himself a good getaway, and can Roberts try and challenge? We wait for the start. The revs rise here from Mount Panorama, and the F3A Gold Series is underway, and the run down towards turn 1. Let's hope it's a clean one as they race through. It's Laddick leading Roberts. He got away well from Mara, Cho, Hydes and Mabry. The top 6 held position. Then Dutton's gone 7th with Malloy, Lutzu and Mitchell also holding position off the start. Up the mountain for the first time, they sparkle in the sunlight. You can see Roberts to the outside already trying to make a move around the outside on Laddick. Can he do it from there? He's going to have to back out. Laddick will take a tighter trajectory, and that'll be slow for him off the corner. Roberts will go to the outside. That's where we saw the young RaceKraft boy in the fence earlier on in the night, though. It's very, very dicey out there on cold tyres. Laddick leads, Roberts second, then Mara third as they head up the hill. Christopher Mitchell has worked his way already up into 8th place, so he's moving along nicely. across the top of the mountain for the first time. Let's pause the camera out the grade. There goes Laddick Roberts. Murray goes through. Then wait for Cho. Hyde with the next through. Luto, Mitchell, Dutton, Mabry, Crouch, Malloy, Coot, Holko, Ryan, Bowden, Newton, Shepherd, Doyle, Bradley, Roberts and Edwards, 21st place. Laddick leads down through the S's to the Dipper for the first time. We saw a lot of issues here in the silver round tonight, but these guys seem to have it in check, just really paying respect to the tyres, getting them up to temperature on this opening lap of the race. Andrew Johnson in a bit of trouble though. This could be an early safety car. He's at the top of the mountain and he's stuck against the fence. Johnson, not good at all. Are we going to see our first caution of the night? I just heard a clutch go in. It sounds to me like we are going to go full course caution here. So safety car boards and flags, and that will be for Andrew Johnson and also I think James Rewalt. Let's have a quick look at James Rewalt first of all. This is one of the incidents. Oh, so he had broken suspension there already. So this is something that's happened a little bit earlier for James. Take it back a little bit for Andrew Johnson. This is his off track, and I wonder if this was. Oh, so he just hit the fence. Oh, then the secondary impact took a couple of cars with him. Let's have a look at that from a different camera angle. This might show a better shot of it. Two goes into one, a slight contact on the way in, and then up into the fence, and from then on in, let's just watch that in slow-mo. So there was a slight bit of contact, I think just prior to that. We'll roll it back. Just have a look here. So is there contact with the car on the inside? Trying to get the number. I think it's the 43. No, I don't think so. I think Johnson just ran a little bit wide. Then he's a passenger into the fence. Big impact with the fence, and I think someone else is going to collect him on the way through here. And was that Rewalt just getting the first little bit of damage? It was a 23 car that collected him on the way through. It was James Rewalt. So unfortunately, that's where the suspension broke. It reattached, but from then on in, it was not going any further for him. It broke that rear wishbone. And James Rewalt, the pace syndicate, will be not so happy with the start of the race. And we're under caution. We've seen a bit of this tonight, full course caution. That's a time to go across to RaceKraft and say hello to the boys. I'll quickly jump in, boys, hello. How's the excitement going on this opening lap of the race, Chris?
Just getting our Scooby impersonations out of the way, mate.
What was that?
Unreal, like bloody, yeah, me and Chrissy were a bit nervous sending it in so hard into turn 2 there, but yeah, we somehow made it work, and yeah, we've gained a few positions, so that's all that matters.
Yeah, I'm looking at, you're up into 6th there, Gianni. Great job, man, up 3 spots. Christopher went with you. Was there any plan to that? A bit of luck maybe as well, just the big old send?
Oh, I had so much luck I put the arse in class, mate. That was all luck.
Yeah, no, I was a bit nervous that maybe something could have unfolded from that and we could have got tangled up, but yeah, no, Chrissy knows me and he knows I love to send it in places, so yeah, I just bombed it and it worked out for us. So
I'll let Gianni open the doors for me, mate.
Yeah, that's it.
And fuel strategy wise, Chris, what do you think it's going to be? Obviously, it'll definitely be at least one stop tonight, even with 100 safety cars.
Now, just in case we get a couple more of these, and we might be able to pull off a Mabry Sonoma Season 9 silver upset.
Yep. But it's looking good at the front. You know, Laddick and Roberts opening lap super quick. Everyone pretty well behaved as far as letting the tyres come into the range as well.
Yeah, it seems like that so far. It was yeah, everyone's pretty cautious, even though a few got checked up at Griffin's Bend. But yeah, side by side with Ben Dutton, there was a bit touch and go, but we made it happen. So it's good that everyone's playing the ball. We all got the stern warning in the warm up. So we'll see what the next 45 minutes or so holds. Yeah,
Dutton's sitting right behind you. Do you think he'll want to come back at you as quickly as possible?
Oh, he's always aggressive, so we'll see how it goes. Safety car's coming in this lap, so we're going to give it a red hot crack.
All right, we'll let you boys go and get concentrating, ready for that. See ya.
See you, mate.
Cheers, boss.
Cheers, guys. So that's RaceKraft, the boys in the RaceKraft room, and it's great that they can give us a little bit of their time, which is fantastic. They've got young Kieran watching along as well. I'm sure he's giving them a bit of feedback from what he's hearing from other spotters and the likes, as we see Laddick getting set for a restart. We'll keep an eye on this. Back in the order, the top 5 held position off the start. Lutzu and Mitchell both made up great gains. So what can they do here off the getaway? Can they try and make up another couple of positions by the time we get to the top of the mountain on lap 3? This is a look on board with Mitchell. So he's sitting back in 7th place. His teammate in front. That will be the most cautious thing for him is just to not make any contact with Gianni. That would be terrible if they ended up together in the fence. But here's the getaway. Laddick out in front. Disappears into the distance. He got a pretty good restart. Roberts tries to go with him, but drops back about 5 car lengths. So once again, super quick. You can see in the background there, Mitchell weaving, trying to get some temperature into those tyres. But Laddick, the perfect getaway. And they cross the line to start lap 3, 6 minutes into this 50-minute race already. And fastest lap of the race at 3 minutes 56. That's telling, isn't it? So we've had half a lap of full racing. We've had a lap under caution. Now we're on lap 3. And Laddick leads Roberts up the hill. The toe pretty strong in these F3 cars. Roberts starting to hone in, see if he can close the margin. Jack Mara's just dropped back a fair way, 1.4 seconds in fact off the back of those drivers. Let's jump on board here with Lutzu as he heads up the mountain and see if we can't just watch a little bit of his form. We've got Mitchell behind him. This is the onboard. It's a little bit ragged going up through the cutting. He holds on for dear life now, and all the while Mitchell's filling his wing mirrors. He's trying to hone in on the back of Show and Hides, who are just up the road, 7/10 to them, and across the top of the mountain. Watch how close they get to the fence. Hyde's just having a look there at the back of Dennis's car. Not the sort of place you want to send it, and he thinks better of it, but down through the S's. Mitchell staying with his teammate here. A little bit of a lock-up down in front. Mara disappears down the chute as well, and the RaceKraft boys doing well, but Laddick out in front with Roberts. They're both now taken off into the distance, 4/10 between them, but importantly 2.2 seconds. Back to Jack Mara, your top two, racing really well here. Let's go back in the order. Will Ryan sitting at the moment in 16th for Pace Syndicate, and he's chasing down James Shepherd, 15th place. We'll drop back a few spots off the start. Now he's, we've got a challenge for the lead. Roberts goes through on Laddick. Nice pass down at the bottom of the chase, and we'll have to listen into some of the onboards. They're definitely limited by the gearing in these cars in race 1 tonight. You can hear them getting to the absolute limit of top gear quite early on Conrad Straight. And Dennis Cho got past Mara as well for P3, and look in the background, Lutzu's starting to have a little bit of a look at the back of Caleb Hydes in the red F3 cars. He gets a little bit squirmy off the ripple strip. That may just give Lutzu a bit of a run up the straight on him. He's within now 0.3 of a second. With the way they're moving across the racetrack, trying to break the toe. The driver at the front of this little battle is Cho now. Hides down the inside, has a look. Oh, there's going to be contact. A big hit in the fence. Jack Mara is the car in the barrier, and he's in all sorts there. And oh boy, the 25 car won't be taking any further part in this race because it is all crunched, the wheels folded in, and we could be seeing the second safety car of this race now on lap 4. So, well, we expected action at Mount Panorama with so many cars, but I'm not sure I expected 2 safety cars in the first 4 laps for the Gold Series, the best of the best drivers. Benjamin Roberts leads. He'll be happy if he does get a caution now, just a bit of a chance just to rest. So Lockie Capel driving the safety car, the Aston Martin FRG safety car here. I haven't heard a call yet, so I'm not sure if we're under caution or not. Roberts has the lead of the race, and has he backed out now? I think he has, so full course caution. And Benjamin Roberts with a 1:58.3 was the lap that he got past Laddick, so it was a decent lap time. And we might take this opportunity to, whilst we're just under full course caution here, to have a look at the championship points, especially for the top drivers in this championship that are battling over the lead. Now, as Roberts going to the pits, he is, so he's deciding to go in now and stop under this first caution period, which is probably a good idea to get it done. The only risk of doing that is he'll have to fight through a bit of traffic, and well, we've seen so many incidents tonight, it can be a little bit risky, but he's going to take that risk. He's the only driver from the top 10 that's gone into the pits. Everyone else has stayed out. Championship points, this is what it looks like heading into this round. We'll just go back a page there, sorry about that. There we are, hit the right button. So Laddick leading the championship. I'll just free up the rest of the page there for you, doing a few funny things. Laddick there Oh, no points. That's not right. We'll try and get that to work for you. As pretty sure the points should have copied across. No, they haven't. So there you go. We'll have to work out why the points haven't come across tonight, and we'll get them in as soon as possible for you. But I can tell you the championship points. Laddick leads Roberts by over 100 points now, so it's still a pretty decent lead in the championship. And well, Roberts needs a good performance tonight. He needs to try and knock Laddick off, and hopefully Laddick, for him anyway, finishes a little bit further back in the order. Let's try again there. There we go. So Laddick leading 1,294 points over Roberts. Lutzu third at the moment. The top three are quite close together in considering where the rest of the field is. Christian Lindbaum, who started in 40th position tonight. He's fourth in the championship, so it wasn't a good qualifying night. Rob Crouch fifth in the championship with Chris Mitchell sixth, and Jay Dixon, Rob Bowden, Mazoka, and Will Ryan, your top 10 in the Drivers' Championship for this FRG F3A World Series, the Gold League. So Laddick in the right spot right now, leading the race, but he's going to have to keep an eye on Roberts. P11, Benjamin Roberts, has stopped for fuel, the only driver in the whole pack that has stopped for fuel. Riso Gorman back in 24th. There he is. Sebastian Guest just putting a comment over in the thing saying, I thought there was a mandatory pit stop, had the fuel to finish easy, and that's heartbreak, man. That's the rule book, isn't it? We spoke of that maybe you didn't fully understand that you can sneak through on a no stopper if it's ever possible, which tonight with so many safety cars it was. So hard luck, Sebastian. Great drive though, we've got to say. We didn't get a chance to talk to him because he was off the podium, but it was a mega drive to get himself, well, basically the fastest driver out there. But rules be rules, and those that knew that they could sneak through without having to stop, as the how good does the safety car sound as it rips off into the distance? Righto, so under caution here, we've got James Shepherd up 5 spots in 12th, looking for a couple of drivers that have made up good gains. Aidan Coote, he's made up 6. He's the Drop Bear Motorsport driver and running the blue livery this season, of course, in support of Beyond Blue, which is fantastic. The 66th there of Aidan Coote. Rob Bowden just behind him, the Tanked SRT driver. Then you've got Roberts, who has stopped for fuel, 10th in the order. Then Holko warming the tyres in 11th. Shepherd, Ryan, Sean Doyle up 4 spots into 14th. And then it's Bradley, Roberts, Edwards, and Bradford. We're about to go back to green flag conditions here. Laddick has control of the speed. Race control lets him know, and when he's ready to jump, he can get going. Caleb Hydes will try and run with him here. Can he stick with him and try and maybe even challenge into turn 1 or up the top of the mountain, turn 2? Back to green flag racing conditions. He sportingly gets on the throttle, Jaden Laddick, and he leads us away. Hyde's trying to put more temperature into the tyres, weaves the car. Quite a few drivers doing that off the restarts, just trying to gain temperature in the tyres. You can see Greg Bradley in the mix of things there as well. A little snap from the rear end as he got on the brakes. So not 100% confident underneath him just yet. As the tyre temps drop, the tyre pressures go down, and these drivers just need to take a little bit of time to get them back in the working window. Shane Russell there from DFR sits in 19th place as he heads up Mountain Straight, chasing down Nick Bradford, who's just up the road, but Laddick leads us through turn 2 and heads up the hill on lap 6. 15 minutes now into this 50-minute race. Riso Gorman says, we love the safety car. How are you sniping whilst driving, Reese? That's very tricky. Reese at the moment back in 22nd position, leading this little grouping of cars. Behind him he's got Chris Barnes and then Chris Swadling. Jay Dixon's, oh, nice slide there for Riso Gorman. There's Dixon going through now as well with Robbie Griffiths, Joe Terra, then Zelda and Kaylin Arthur, who sits back there for Tanked SRT in 29th spot. Anthony Mazoka 30th. You got Wadby in 31st. Newton, Mabry and Lindbaum. Christian Lindbaum has made up 6 spots for the man who's 4th in the championship. He sits back here in 34th position tonight at Mount Panorama. Meanwhile, back at the front, Gianni has got up into third and he's taken off down the order as well. Christopher Mitchell now challenges too. So Chris Mitchell trying to work his way past. Let's see. We'll get a look at Chris as he heads down towards the chase. We'll jump on board with him. He's on the inside of a couple of drivers here. It's Dutton and Crouch. Will he go back to the other side? He does. The big dive down the inside. Good driving. Mitchell there goes alongside the DFR car of Rob Crouch. This is great. And he gets in front. He should get the run down into the final corner. And position done. P5 now for Mitchell. And Lutzu up into third. So two of the RaceKraft cars cutting through the field now. And we've got Laddick leading over the line there. Hyde's P2. Then it's Lutzu, Dutton, Mitchell, Crouch, Malloy, Coote, Bowden, and Benjamin Roberts P10. Roberts so far not being able to make too many gains on the car in front, which is Rob Bowden. This is the issue with that early stop. It has put him back into quite a busy battle, but ultimately everyone in front is still going to need to stop at some point tonight in this race. As we look at the pit strategy, he stands out like a sore thumb, doesn't he? The only driver so far to pit, Benjamin Roberts. He needs to keep his nose clean now, make sure he doesn't get involved in anyone else's incidents. Right now, he's just ahead of Rob Bowden, another really quick competitor. He's chasing him down constantly over the top of the hill. Let's jump on board here with Benjamin Roberts, and he's going to attack Coop, I think, towards Brock Skyline. So on board in visor cam, here he goes. Modulate the brake. Basically 3 modulations down through there to get it right, keep the tyres rolling while slowing the car down. And then down now through this tight little section towards Forest Elbow. Important to get a great exit out of here. There's a cloud of smoke from someone up the road who's just locked the brake. Now Roberts can relax for a little bit. In his mirrors you can just see Rob Bowden, but his eyes firmly fixed ahead now to get a run alongside Aiden Coote. He's already on the limiter by the sounds of it. What a great run. He's got some good speed and he will go through to the outside. When we get down to the bottom of the chase, it's the outside run, but he's already made the move up into 8th place. Good overtake. Benjamin Roberts fighting his way back through the order. The lead of the race, Hydes leads now from Laddick. Hydes has got through. We didn't see the overtake, but that puts now Caleb Hydes ahead of Jaden Laddick. I wonder if Jaden wants to save some fuel here, or if that was an all out and out pass. Let's have a quick look. We've got a replay here of Hydes making the move on Laddick. Here it is. So it was, in fact, it was up Mountain Straight, so it was quite early in the lap. He got the job done. Great overtake. That was all about the exit from turn 1. We've got Cameron Edwards, I think, in a bit of strife. He's doing some circle work down there outside of turn 1 on the infield. He needs to get that car back on the racetrack. Both tyres on the black stuff will help. The 171 rejoins, but does lose a lot of time, goes to the back. So Hydes leads up the front by just on a 10th of a second from Laddick. Laddick chasing him down across the top of the mountain. Super speed through here. Watch it from the chopper cam or from this overhead camera now as they head towards the skyline. They drop in. You lose your tummy as it drops down through the dipper now. You can see Gianni not too far behind. Then Christopher Mitchell has a stack of cars now behind him. And it's Mitchell, Crouch, Dutton and Malloy very close together. Mitchell's all out of shape. He's all out of shape in a big way. He somehow gathered that up. And wow, you should have seen the look on his face. It was one of grimacing and excitement all twisted together. And now he's got some guys with a great slipstream against him. And he's under some pressure here. There's 3 or 4 cars buzzing around the tailpipe. Chris Mitchell here trying to get through. Crouch is through. And Mitchell hangs on somehow. Oh, he's on the grass, so Mitchell, can he somehow recover this? Ben Dutton went on the grass too, back in the order of Benjamin Roberts is also in the mix of things here. Roberts trying to find a way through. Roberts now on the back of Crouch, moves up into 6th place with Christopher Mitchell. A big breath of relief as he comes onto the pit straight there. He was all out of shape down into Forest Elbow like we've never seen, and somehow he managed to hold onto it. So good racing. It's Caleb Hyde still leading, and Laddick sitting in P2. Being very watchful, I'd say, at this stage of the race now. Fastest lap time of the race, a 57.5, goes to Hydes. Gianni starts to hone in as well, 1.8 seconds off the back of the top two. And it's Mitchell. We want to try and spend this lap just getting it a little bit more clean and comfortable. It's almost a huge impact for him. Sam Katakazina says the most consistency award goes to the pace car driver for the whole night. Peter Morris says that silver race we raced in was chaotic. A couple of comments coming through now. Keith Logan, I like this one, I'll put up on the screen. Says safety car's going to need a service and some tyres soon. Well, it did definitely need that in the silver race. It's been a little bit more controlled here throughout the gold race tonight. There's Ben Dutton. Moves up onto the back now of Sean Malloy. Hear a little bit of race control chatter in the background. Have we got another incident? I think we've got another safety car here. The way Ben Dutton's just backed out of that. I'm going to wait and see for confirmation. I'm going to wait and see, and it may be for Crude, is it? I'm just seeing the safety car hasn't moved, or has it? Rocky Capel standing by. Yep, safety car's on the roll. So I think we're going to see a flurry of cars into the pit lane now. Hydes is in, Laddick, Lutsu, Mitchell all into the pit lane to make their pit stop. This pit entry pretty tricky. You'll see Chris Mitchell probably grab for a quick drink. Oh, there's a car absolutely busted in the pit lane there. As Mitchell goes down the pit lane, that is the 43 car of Christian Lindbaum. Just had a big incident somewhere. We'll try and pick up a replay of that one. So I'm not sure where Lindbaum's got involved in that crash. It doesn't give me an indicator on the screen, but there has been some coming together at the top of the mountain. Let's have a quick look at Peter Zelda first of all. This is the first incident I want to look at. So this is heading up towards the cutting, watching the 38 car in the middle of your screen. And I think Lindbaum is going to get involved in this. There's Lindbaum now, and he gets hit from behind. So, oh wow, Lindbaum, he got sent back to the future. I like calling it that. It's when they disappear completely back to the pit lane. It doesn't even give you a chance to repair or drive back to the pits. So just watch Lindbaum in the mix of all this, and we'll slow it down. And we'll quickly grab Chris. There he is. So Christian Lindbaum, watch this. This is what I call getting sent back to the future.
What are you doing here? What are you doing here?
Try and get the right button for you, folks. Alright, so we'll go back to live. We're under caution, and we've seen a few of these tonight, of course. Let's go and have a chat maybe to the RaceKraft guys. We'll see if they're happy to have a quick chat while we're under safety car here. Hello, Christopher Mitchell and the crew. How's things going?
I feel like I might have just screwed the pooch by choosing to pit, but we could have tried to go all the way, but I think it was a bit touch and go whether we were going to make it happen. Benny Roberts might have really got the wool up on everyone there.
Yeah, well, he's in P2 now. Crouch is in the lead. He has not stopped. Well, you think there is a chance he won't need a pit stop in this one tonight?
Well, I mean, we won't need one now. But I think we may have just been able to make it. I think we were 7 litres in the negative that I needed to add, and I threw 8.5 in it. So definitely clear now, but maybe one more safety car that went for 2 laps, and we might have just made it all the way to the end. Yeah, some fast drivers went in with you though. Obviously Laddick, who was right up the top there, he's gone in. Your teammates come in as well. Gianni, who's with us as well, he's gone in. What do you think, Gianni?
Yeah, no, obviously Benny Roberts went in for the first safety car there, and obviously we thought he might have got a little bit held up, in the mid-pack when it went green, but obviously seems like he was able to get through there pretty cleanly, but obviously quite a few people ahead of us obviously haven't pitted yet, so we'll try to see where we end up, but the main thing is we're behind Laddick and Hyde, so that's obviously a good thing.
Yeah, it's the halfway point of the race, 25 minutes in, so still a long way to go. Gianni, you've got Pocock in front. He hasn't stopped yet. Is your focus on just the car in front, or is it more on the drivers that you're battling with as far as Laddick and Hyde, who are both in the same pit stop strategy as you?
Nah, mostly focusing on them. Obviously Pocock was a little bit far back, and he just luckily got ahead, but hopefully we'll be able to get him on the start, and then we can continue to try hustle with Laddick and Heights. So
Well, I can let you know that Pocock's fastest lap times are 1:59, yours are 1:57. So good luck, mate.
All right, cheers, thank you.
Excellent.
Thanks, Luke.
We'll let you guys get back to it. We might drop in again if there's another safety car. Okay, so that's the RaceKraft boys over there, and they've got Aaron Gray there helping out as well. Kieran's having his dinner. We won't show that on the stream, but he's having his dinner. I can see him there eating away. We're going to go back to green, are we, or is the safety car still out? I think it's still out on the racetrack, so another lap of caution. This will let Dave Roberts jump in for a stop. Now, I wonder if any other drivers are going to choose to come in. Rob Crouch has stayed out, and this is what the boys were just talking about then as far as strategy goes, because they're thinking with this extra safety car or two, it may just mean that they can creep through without a pit stop tonight in the gold as well. Now, the drivers that have stopped in the order, if we look at the top 20, Roberts stopped on lap 4, Laddick Hydes stopped on lap 9, so did Lutzu, Mitchell and Bowden, 16th and 17th place, they stopped on lap 9, and Mazoka down in 20th, he stopped on the opening lap of the race, but only took 4 seconds worth of fuel, so he'll need a little bit more, you would think. The drivers that did take a lot, though, I mean, Mitchell took 4.5, Bowden took 4.2, and Lucy took 4.4 seconds worth of fuel. Caleb Hydes, who was super quick, in fact I think he still holds the fastest lap of the race, in 12th place, he took over 6 seconds worth of fuel. So there you go. Kieran just said, cheers boss, forgot I had the camera on. Don't worry mate, we didn't show you eating, but whatever you got there, some noodles, very very good. Have some 2-minute noodles now, that go down very well. Right, under caution, 27.5 minutes into the race. Crouch on your screen now, leading for DFR. What do you reckon so far? Mount Panorama. It's been a lot of incidents tonight. Uncle Hutto says, loving the scenic drives tonight. Bathurst is God's country. There's been some scenic driving. There's been a flurry of racing here and there as well, but there's also been a lot of this caution and waiting behind the safety car. Benjamin Roberts, P2. This is a good chance for us to quickly mention that VRS competition as well. If you haven't already entered, please do. It's a chance to win a $99 US package. So we had Miles and Arturo already entered tonight with a couple of other drivers, Cooper and Jacob as well, Stephen and Cooper. So tonight's code word is Uluru, and you can enter that in just by obviously clicking on the link in the description to the Google form or whatever it is, and you enter in tonight's code word ULURU, Uluru, and you go in the draw. On the last night of competition for this series, we'll be going through and drawing out a winner for that, so that's pretty cool. And I'm thinking I might give away a little RaceStars prize for someone in that order as well, so we'll probably give out a couple of vouchers from us here at RaceStars when we do that little prize pool, some PayPal gifts or pizza vouchers or something like that. So head over and join up. Where's my picture? It says, sure, I had it all ready to go prior to COVID, and then since COVID, I haven't even thought about it since. We'll get that up for you in the next couple of rounds, I'll promise. Right, Rob Crouch gets ready to send it and lead us away. Benjamin Roberts is in a great position. I tell you what, this would be great for his championship fight if Laddick stays where he is down at 11th place, but I don't see that happening. See Laddick in the background there warming the tyres. We're about to go green. Crouch waits to the last possible moment to send it onto the pit straight. Here they go. Down towards turn 1. Shane Russell's up 13 spots. He goes past us with Barker in behind, just getting overtaken by Laddick, who gets a really good restart. Up Mountain Straight we go. Roberts tucked in behind. Your race leader, Rob Crouch. Sean Malloy, third then. Dropping back already with James Shepherd in tow. Remember, these drivers have not stopped for fuel. Roberts is the only one in the top 9 that has stopped and can go to the end of this race, unless, of course, we maybe get another safety car, which will help with the fuel situation. Looking back from Rob Crouch, the DFR Team Blue driver. What can he do to hold out Roberts here? I mean, if he's on a fuel saving strategy, he's going to really struggle with the speed of Roberts, who's got plenty of fuel now in the tank to bring it home, stopping on lap 4. Roberts already weaving around, trying to find a way through, so he's not going to muck around, Benny, at this stage of the race. We're into the last 20 minutes now, almost 19 minutes to go. And I think you're going to see sooner or later Roberts have a dive, whether it's this early down into Forest Elbow, or is he going to be patient? He thinks about it, and he doesn't. He hangs back. So this will be now the run out of Forest Elbow onto Conrod, the 37 of Benjamin Roberts, mini muscle cars entrant, moves alongside. Here we go, neck and neck down Conrod. That's what we love to see, isn't it? Cross the crest of the hill under the Fuso sign. Side by side, Roberts trying to get through. Benjamin Roberts into the lead of the race on lap 12. And the job done halfway down Conrod, so he made it look easy. Laddick's up into 9th as well, so he's also just moved past Russell. Will Ryan's off the track. He's going for an excursion down there. He rejoins just behind Hides, and he's got no momentum, so Barker might also get him here. Barker goes to the outside. Ryan on the inside, he is overtaken, so Brett Barker moves up into 11th place. Love the livery here on Brett's car, by the way. It's very, very cool. He runs in 11th. Then it's Lutzu, Ryan and Mitchell. Next in the order, we've got a spinner down the back. Hayden Coots just gone around at turn 1. And it's all turned from bad to worse for Aiden tonight, unfortunately. Drops to the rear of the field. Roberts starting to stretch away now from Crouch and Malloy. And Shepherd as well, just dropping back. Then you've got Sean Doyle. Great drive by Sean again tonight. 13 spots he's made up into the top 5, has not stopped. Here's that pit strategy we're talking about. The leaders stop, then you go to Laddick and Hides in 8th and 9th, they've stopped. Then it's Lutzu in 12th, Mitchell and Bode in 14th and 15th. They've all stopped. Everyone else trying to edge out and maybe get through this on a no-stop strategy tonight. We saw it in the silver race. Peter wants to know, how's my boy Griffo going? We'll get a look at him for you shortly. O'Gorman's down there in 26th place. And right now, Robbie Griffiths, 35th place. There he is, across the top of the mountain. A little bit lonely for the Fishy Motorsports entrant. He's got Aiden Coote next up the road, 3 seconds. Then it's basically, he's got a big gap back. The driver behind him, Kalen Arthur, is out of the race. Crouch under attack from Sean Malloy. Here we go. Roberts goes through into the braking zone for the chase. Will Malloy have a look? Doesn't. He sits back there, happy just to watch on. Caleb Hides now as well with Nick Bradford. It's Nick there up 16 spots into 7th. Fantastic drive. Another of the DFR drivers tonight. And Lutzu also now attacking Brett Barker, and he goes to the inside down to the final corner, and Lutzu moves up another position now to be in 10th. So a top 10 for Gianni. Still a way to go. There's Will Ryan again. 111 Pace Syndicate Zulu car. He's got Christopher Mitchell trying to own in on the back of him. Let's go down onto the nose camera of Christopher Mitchell as we head up Mountain Straight. Mitchell's so fast up onto the back there of Will Ryan, trying to find a way through. What's happened to Caleb Hides? He's in the fence. We've got a big incident here, and it's Hides and Bradford are both in the wall 34 minutes into the race. Will this be another safety car? Because this could change things remarkably. This will bring maybe Laddick and also the, Mitchell and Lutzu back into tension here, because the drivers that have stopped, I'm sure if we get another safety car, there it is, I heard the call there from race control. Let's get a replay, because this is some of the top contenders, and we'll look from Caleb Hides' perspective first of all. Here it is. So I was heading up the mountain, Hides was in tow. Now did he just misjudge the braking? Slow it down from there, and they go wheel to wheel. The 28 turned in on him, which is very similar to what we saw with the Rubok crash earlier on tonight. Nick Bradford will probably take the blame for that one, but into the fence, both cars out of the race, sadly. It's have a look from Bradford's perspective here. Jumping towards, here it was. So this is Nick Bradford. You would just see to the right-hand side of screen, here goes the overtake, and they just get together there and bang into the pedigree sign. Both drivers, unfortunately, knocked the wind out of them, and they're out of this race. So full course caution here on lap 15, and just looking at that, no one else stopped. So they've all now, pretty sure, realised that they can go to the end of this race without fuel. So it's going to make it tough. Laddick's in 6th place. So just on pace alone, he should be able to get past a few of them. His outright lap time of 1:57.6. Now the next 4 drivers in front of him haven't dipped into the 57s at all. They're in the mid 58s and low 58s. So lap speed alone, you would think Laddick can at least dispatch Shepherd and Doyle possibly, and maybe Malloy for a top 3. He's going to struggle to catch Roberts because Roberts will just edge away whilst he's battling to get through. Roberts has got a clear track in front of him, and he'll check out doing 1:57s all day long. Rob Crouch, who's done a 1:58.0, he may be able to hang on for P2 tonight as well. And it's all going to come down to the fuel. These drivers that have not stopped, and we've got 4 of them in the top 5. So Crouch, Malloy, Doyle and Shepherd are currently running that no-stop strategy. There it is. And you've got Laddick, Russell as well. No stop tonight for Shane Russell, P7. Up 15 spots. We've got some big gains tonight. You can see 15 spots for him, 16 for Barker, 11 for Pocock. Dixon's made up 15. Terra's up 16. So some really good gains for these drivers that have decided to stay out. Safety car just slowing down a little bit here. I was told the safety car speed was going to be ramped up a little bit in the Gold Series tonight. It's just wound down a little bit. I think just letting a couple of these cars go through. And Rob Crouch tucked in behind. You guys are having fun over there on YouTube. No, I don't have an OnlyFans. We've got possibly, I'm thinking maybe 5 laps to go in this race at most. By the time we get down to the bottom of the mountain here, it's going to be probably at the 40-minute mark. It is a time-certain race, so we get about 10 laps in. If they're doing 2-minute laps, if you get another safety car period, well, I'll chop that in half. But we've seen a lot of this tonight, a lot of caution. It's been tough for the drivers because a lot of the time you just want to get out there and get into a rhythm. They haven't been able to find a rhythm tonight. They've just been struggling with that. But all in all, it's still great to see any car race around Mount Panorama, and these drivers have really been flying. So Ruud Koistra there in control of race control, just lets the drivers know that Benjamin Roberts is now in control of this race, and everyone else, obviously, the safety car's headed back to the pit lane, and he can now go when he wants to go. Will he try and just wait for a while and hold back and maybe not launch off until Rob Crouch is half asleep? But I don't think you're going to find Rob Crouch half asleep. I think he's going to be ready to jump on that throttle as soon as Roberts goes. Remember, you can't go and then stop and then go again. You've got to go, which he does. And Benjamin Roberts leads us away off the restart lap here, and he has stopped for fuel, so there's no need for him to, back out of the throttle at all. He can just go now 10 tenths to the end of this race. Green, 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 says Ruud Koistra, and we are underway, which hopefully a 5 or so lap dash to the finish line. Laddick's already trying to make a move here on Shepherd. He's right in behind him. Lutzer was wide up on the ripple strip coming out of turn 1, but he made it stick. And Shepherd now in a bit of bother by Laddick, who's going to come through on the inside. There goes Laddick now. And Laddick moves himself up another position, now into 5th. The man who's leading the championship now moves up into 5th place. Great overtake. Up towards the cutting they go. You can see Will Ryan. There goes Scott Newton. Mazzocco, Swadling Holt goes there with Dave Roberts. Reese O'Gorman goes through. There's O'Gorman heading up now in 21st place. He's made up 11 spots tonight. Mabry's dropped 16 to be 22nd, and Ben Dutton as well, back 15 spots. Not the best night for those drivers. They'll be probably wishing they had a better run. Side by side across the top of the mountain, it's Hardy and Edwards. Usually that ends up in an incident. They somehow came out all right, and Chris Barnes is really pushing the limit as well as he heads down through the S's. Brenton Hawkins in behind him, and then it's James Rewalt, who we haven't seen much at all tonight, of pace syndicate driver, but he's sitting back there in 28th place as a cloud of smoke up the road as they go through Forest Elbow and then head down the corner once again tonight. Lap 16. This is your race leader, 1.2 seconds the margin. Roberts to Crouch to Malloy. Top three covered by 2 seconds. We've got a couple of cars going a little bit wide. It was Mitchell around the outside of Will Ryan, and Rob Bowden now trying to make his way through as well. Into the braking zone he goes, just releases that brake and says thank you very much. I'll go wheel to wheel down the pit straight. Nice job, good racing. I enjoy that. Will Ryan is not giving up that position. He's really wanting to fight this, and that is what I want to see from the driver. And he's in fact positioned the car well to now get a run up mountain straight and be on the inside for turn 2. So great driving there, Will Ryan. Started 12th place in the race tonight, running 11th, now back to 12th, but under brakes, and he send it on Bowden, he doesn't. Back to 12th. Swadling's off, and a big crash for him too. Red Rocket Racing in the fence. Oh, they're trying to split around either side of him. He's staying still. Could this be a final safety car of the evening? It's he may get permission to tow here. The 57-0. Your race leader, by the way, on that previous lap is Flying Benjamin Roberts. And pretty fitting too tonight, sponsored by Mini Muscle Cars. This is a Mini Muscle Cars machine cult entry we're watching right now. And if you haven't seen what the Mini Muscle Cars are, I tell you, head across to their Facebook page and look them up, because if you love new categories of motor racing in Australia, this is one that's definitely going to be massive in years to come. And I'll give you a quick look in a second. I'm just going to find a video. Well, here they are. These are the Mini Muscle Cars themselves on the trailer prior to a meet. This is what they look like. How cool is that? I'll just try and blow them up a little bit for you. Well, we'll get back to that in a second. But what I was really going to try and find for you is just a video where you can hear the sound. Rover V8, and they sound pretty cool. In fact, they sound incredible. So Laddick's up into 4th now and continues to push forward. So we're just watching him now fight with Sean Malloy, who drops back in behind. So Laddick into 3rd as the time ticks down. Laddick 3rd. So for the championship, this is important. He's got himself back within 3 seconds of Roberts. He's got incredible pace, hasn't he? And Lutsu's up into 6th now as well. Mitchell's inside the top 10 in 9th place, just behind Shane Russell. There goes Shane Russell. Roberts leads out in front. And as I was saying, the Mini Muscle Cars, I just want to show you a quick little bit of this video. And I'm just making sure it's the right one. But this was the Mini Muscle Cars. One of the Mini Muscle Cars, I think, just racing alongside some other miniature race cars. And Gaz will tell me if I've got an incorrect video here, but you'll be able to hear the sound if I just turn that down a bit. You'll hear the sound of this. It sounds very cool. So this is the Mini Muscle Car, one of them, racing in the miniature racing cars at Sydney Motorsport Park. And how cool does that look on board? So definitely head across to Mini Muscle Cars, check them out. They are tonight's round sponsor. Big thanks to them, and there's plenty of content for you to go look at. The Rover V8 singing a beautiful tune over there on Facebook. So Mini Muscle Cars, You'll find them on Facebook. They're tonight's round sponsor. A big thanks again to RaceKraft Simulators for being the major sponsor of this series, and of course the VRS competition. If you haven't already entered it, go and do so. Rob Bowden's off the circuit, rejoins just behind Brett Barker. That was a moment for him, and Holko is just being overtaken here by Dave Roberts, another of the Pace Syndicate drivers tonight. Just moves himself now up into 16th place. So 46 minutes into the race, which will be maybe 3 laps to go if we don't get any sort of caution. Roberts will head through. He's still lapping in the 57.0s. Nice lap time. He's got himself a 3.1 second lead over Laddick. Can Laddick try and peel that back? You can see on the last few laps, Roberts has actually been quicker, but Laddick's been going through traffic. Lap 16, Roberts was a 10th quicker. He was only 67 thousandths quicker on lap 17. He was nearly 3/10ths quicker on the previous lap, and that was a new fastest lap of the race. So I think Roberts will probably be able to do enough, and he did take 4.4 seconds worth of fuel on lap 4. Laddick took 4.37 seconds worth of fuel on lap 9. The next 3 drivers, Rob Crouch, trying to hang on here for a podium on the no-stop strategy, which we saw in the silver race tonight. So he's taken a leaf out of their book. The next driver that has stopped and can run full throttle to the end is this man, Gianni Lutsu, in 6th place for RaceKraft Simulators. He's going to try and spoil the party, I think, for Crouch, Malloy and Doyle, but it's 3.5 seconds up the road to Crouch. So it's quite a margin to pull back in probably 2 laps. We'll keep an eye on the time. It's 47 minutes, 16 seconds now as he comes down towards the chase. So if he crosses the line and it's within 2 minutes to go, we'll see 1 more lap. If it's outside of that 2 minutes to go, we're going to see 2 more laps, and I'm predicting it's going to be 2 more laps for Roberts, and that may also just change the fuel strategy for these guys. If they're predicting 1 lap less, Crouch, Malloy and Doyle might be in a little bit of trouble here. You can see Malloy's all over the back now of Rob Crouch as well. Sam Catexer says they look like tasty jelly beans. So small. They are such cool race cars. Definitely go check them out. There's some great shots of them on the page. One of my favourites is this one, mini muscle cars on the back of the Kenworth. On the mini trailer there, looking very cool. So battle-wise, Shane Russell, he's in a last-ditch battle here with Christopher Mitchell and also James Shepherd, who's just in front of both of these drivers. Shepherd goes through. Mitchell was very wide on entry. Now he heads up the mountain. Jumping on board with Chris now. He's tucked in behind Russell. But Russell and Shepherd both haven't stopped. And he said when we had that interview earlier in the race that maybe he shouldn't have gone in for that pit stop. Maybe the no-stop strategy was key tonight. But it's too late to change now. You've got to run with it. And Mitchell will try and get past Russell as soon as possible. I tell you, Rob Bowden is still looking very energetic in behind them though as well. He closed up 7/10ths on this lap, in fact on the last lap on Mitchell. So Rob Bowden coming home strong as well. He also stopped on lap 9, so on the same strategy as Chris Mitchell. Some smoke in the air there from the tyres as Roberts comes down to cross the line. Now this will be Benjamin Roberts to start lap 21. There'll be about 20 seconds to go, I gather, here on the timing board, which will give them 1 more lap. So a 56.9 there for Roberts as he crosses the line to start the final lap. He's turned the wick up. It was a 57.2, 3/10ths off for Laddick. So incredible lap time here for Roberts. Look in the background, Laddick really aggressive up on the curb. The gap 3.4. Look at Crouch now and Malloy. The battle for the final step of the podium is going to go down to the wire between these two. And I reckon Sean Malloy can just taste maybe the podium tonight. DFR purple driver tucks in behind Crouch. We've got DFR 3rd and 4th. Will there be team orders? We've got a crash. Oh, big crash on Mountain Straight. Jay Dixon is right. He's got through. It's Rob Bowden who's fighting well, and Will Ryan's the other driver that's come across both those drivers out of this race, sadly. And back to the pits for them. But like I was saying, DFR versus DFR for the final podium spot. Will there be team orders? Will they be allowed to just race for it? I think they're just going to be allowed to race for it by the looks of things, because the fight is on. Down the mountain they go. Roberts is already going down through Forest Elbow. He's about to go down and start what is the last big straight of this race for him. Conrod Straight through the chase to the checkered flag. The gap 3.5. He's continued to eke out that gap over Laddick, the series leader. And it's been a fantastic performance from go to woe here for Roberts. Remember, he was the first driver to go in and risk the fuel stop. He did that on lap 4, and it's paid off perfectly for him tonight. Laddick stopped on lap 9, and then it's going to go down to the wire between the no stoppers, Crouch, Malloy and Doyle. Lutsu will stop. He'll come home 6th at this rate. The checker flag drops, and Benjamin Roberts takes the flag here at Mount Panorama ahead of Jaden Laddick, who gets 2nd spot. Congratulations. The final position does go to Rob Crouch on the podium tonight. He wins against Sean Malloy. Sean Doyle gets 5th place. Lutsu cross the line in 6th. They'll be thinking their strategy now. Well, should they have stopped? Should they have carried on? Considering 3rd, 4th and 5th, no stoppers tonight. James Shepherd got 7th. Chris Mitchell 8th. Shane Russell rounds out the top 9, and Scott Newton 10th place. But you've got to wonder what could have been for a few of these drivers. You had to take a risk though. Benjamin Roberts did that. Lap 4, he came into the pits. He said, I'm stopping, I'm taking fuel. He won the race. Great drive here for F3A, the FRG Formula Racing Group F3A World Series. Round number 10, run and done. We'll hear from the driver shortly. We'll put up the results as soon as they're made available from iRacing, and then we'll wrap it up all here from Mount Panorama. Sam says congratulations to the survivors. It was a case of that tonight. We've seen more safety cars tonight than I think we've seen in any race throughout this series. But in the end, it was still some decent battles. And Mount Panorama, well, what's Mount Panorama without a safety car? Right, I'm going to head across to the broadcast room and wait for our top 3 to come in for a chat. Roberts, Laddick's already jumped out of the car. Rob Crouch also just coming down the mountain to roll back to the pit lane. There's a car out of fuel there. I think it was Malloy. Congratulations to the mini muscle cars. Benny Roberts, he's going to go for the jump. Oh, he's made it too. He's turned it into a canoe. Benjamin Roberts there. We'll have to have a look at that surely. So Roberts doing the infamous jump at Mount Panorama. He just clipped the front and the back on the wall, and from then on it's history. I wonder if anyone else has tried that as well. Into the fence, so probably not what your team owner wants you to do with your car after the race, but all in all, it's all a bit of fun, isn't it? Right, we're just waiting for the final couple of drivers to jump into the broadcast booth. We've got Jaden Laddick standing by. We're just waiting on Roberts and Crouch, of course, to come in, and we'll start having a chat. But the final results up on the screen now, thanks to iRacing, and this is how it looks. Benjamin Roberts by 3.1 seconds in the end was your race winner over Laddick, and then it was Rob Crouch 5.1 seconds behind the leaders. Congratulations, boys. Tough race tonight, interesting strategy, but Benny, that early stop helped you secure the win.
Yeah, thanks, Luke. I was at first I was a little bit concerned that I sort of pitted too early, couldn't get enough fuel in the car, but I sort of had a thought in the back of my mind that there'd be more safety cars anyway, so I knew I was pretty safe as long as I stayed out of trouble and didn't get tangled up with anyone.
Yeah, it was interesting to watch. Obviously, the first part of the race, you had a good battle with Jaden, and then that early stop strategy. I mean, there was always going to be at least 1 or 2 safety cars tonight. I think we had 4 in the end, or 3 or 4. But, you know, was there any point where you thought maybe I hadn't have stopped?
Yeah, not till sort of right at the end. Although, with the way I was pushing in the last few laps, I would have run out Dan Conrad anyway.
And good job, Jaden, tonight, mate. You made it a little bit hard at the end there, obviously with the drivers that went for the no-stop strategy. you had to work your way through there. There was, I think, 3 or 4 of them that you had to get past, but you got yourself back up into P2, mate, and some good pace, and obviously it's still good points in the championship, which you're leading.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if Ben was gonna make it, and so I didn't pit early, but then I kind of screwed myself by getting stuck behind the safety car, not safety car, all these like drivers ahead of me, and then I had to pass them all, so I lost a lot of time. And then I just took a safe at the end because my tires were dying a bit.
It's a great racetrack, man. It's it's one of the toughest ones to do in an F3 car, sub 2-minute laps, lap after lap, but you guys make it look easy at times, so congratulations, Jaden, and as I said, good points, mate, for your championship, which you're leading by, I think, around 120 or so points.
Yep, cheers.
All right, we'll come back to you guys for some thank yous, but Rob Crouch, mate, you went for the no-stop strategy tonight, and it paid off. How nervous were you at the end there, of course, having your teammate right on your tail as well?
Yeah, thankfully we had a mathematician in our Discord, in our team Discord, running the numbers for us, telling us exactly how much we needed to save. So I wasn't real stressed at the end, but I have to say, Jaden mentioned that he was taking it easy at the end there, and he blew past me and then was gapping me. So like, I'm so glad he was taking it easy because I was going full throttle, and I'm stoked to get in the podium, and yeah.
That's a great drive for DFR. And mate, tell us what the dynamic was with your teammate. Were you talking on Discord through that last part of the race?
Yeah, he was yelling out YOLO down the final conrod straight there. No, as we said after the race, I sort of told him he probably could have had a shot at the podium, but he was like, the worst thing that could have happened was that we both get murdered and end up way down the pack. So he wasn't going to do anything stupid. I knew that. So no, it was great fun. I love running open wheelers around Bathurst. It's so ridiculous. And yeah, just seeing this pace that Ben and Jaden and all the guys in quali, all those other dudes that were way up the front, but it just freaks me out how fast they can get around this lap.
Yeah, well, Benjamin Roberts' fastest lap tonight, 156.99 in clear air as well. No advantage of a toe. That was out leading the race. So great lap time. Let's do some thank yous, and pretty fitting tonight, Benjamin, that it is Mini Muscle Cars sponsoring the round, and you've brought the Mini Muscle Cars Machine Cult F3 home for a top stop at the podium.
Yeah, thanks again, obviously, to Machine Cult, Mini Muscle Cars, and yourself, all for broadcasting this. All the other series sponsors, Rue and Dave and all the guys in the stewards room who keep some level of control with us lot, and to everyone else watching at home.
Great drive, man. And then Jaden P2, who would you like to thank, man?
Probably the stewards firstly, because that was pretty hectic. A safety car every like 3 laps or so. I guess yourself as well, Luke. Yeah.
Awesome, man. You got a couple of new stickers on the car. Oh no, it's an F3A livery. I thought you may have had some sponsors there. Still a privateer.
Yeah, basically.
Excellent, man. Well done, P2 tonight. Rob Crouch, finally, who would you like to thank for P3?
Yeah, all the DFR boys. We've got such a great crew that's running this series, and good camaraderie, and we're pushing each other. So big thanks to them. And Luke, to yourself. Man, I can't thank you enough for what you've been doing and the dramas you've been through lately. It really makes this whole series just so brilliant. So thank you.
Thanks, man. That means a lot. It's such a great series, and I know Rue's just joined us in the chat as well. Tonight was probably a tough one for Rue and the crew. But yeah, there's such a mega series. I love every bit of it. I can't believe we're already at round 10 of this World Series, and maybe some surprises in track selection still to go, which I won't spill the beans, Rue, but man, it's just so good, isn't it?
Look, it is amazing, but I think no more Mount Panorama in F3. What do you reckon?
How's Lockie Capel and Dave Roberts, our safety car drivers? Because I think they may have won the lap count tonight.
Yeah, I think Lockie. I think he came in mid-pack somewhere. Like he's done a few laps, and well done, Rob, as well. Like doing the no-stop finish. Yep. We thought that it would be possible in silver, and then with a couple of laps to go, we saw quite a few people hadn't stopped yet. I'm like, oh wow, this must be on the limit. So that was pretty exciting, actually. It was good to see.
Yeah, still had enough to do the jump, so
yeah. Oh, very good. So, well, Rue, we're pretty much done for tonight, but I've got to thank, obviously, Mini Muscle Cars again. We've done a bit of pushing for them tonight because it is such a great thing for Gaz and the crew to get behind another round, and of course RaceKraft Simulations, who have been sponsoring this series throughout. And then the VRS competition, I've been just watching the names tick away. Dennis has just put his name on there, and more names have gone on there tonight. And we'll be drawing that $99 prize at the end of the final round, yeah?
Into the final round with the unknown track that we've discussed. And you're itching to tell everyone, but we'll keep it quiet just for
Mount
now.
Panorama in reverse.
Yeah. But yeah, it's so good for them to get on board. And just a little shout out to our livery sponsors as well. So we've got Android Racing, we've got KUCG, Mini Muscle Cars also on top of that. And Chris Mitchell has put some down. He's got a little CM2 if you see on top of the car when you've got that helmet cam.
Yep.
So really happy that the livery sponsors have got on board and helping us all out. They haven't really got a shout out, so a huge shout out for them.
Yeah, awesome. I'm just having a look at the CM2 logo there on the side of the car, so very good.
Hey.
Now off to next week, we go for a little bit of a wander off to
Hungaroring. I'm all over it. And high downforce. I might even put a bit more on the front wing there because that is they're huge sweepers, huge high downforce track. A little bit hard to overtake in that track, so we'll might modify ourselves a little bit just in favour of more exciting racing.
Awesome, man. Well, thanks for all your hard work. Thanks to all the admin team, and this continues to just get better and better, this series. And of course, we saw a lot of yellow tonight, but still some fantastic racing. Looking forward to next week after this Easter break, mate. It's been fun. So see you then.
Yeah, man. We'll see everyone then.
See you next week. Excellent. All right, that's it for tonight, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being a part of the broadcast. And there is your race winner, Benjamin Roberts, too strong for everyone tonight. He has won another round of this FRG F3A World Series. So next week, we go to the Hungaroring. Looking forward to that very much. We're going to finish once again tonight with our RaceKraft simulators. Little preview of their simulator. Check it out. Make sure you give all our sponsors a like and a follow. Thanks for everyone that was involved tonight. Good night.